All right, guys, today I have a new AC unit we're gonna test for using on solar power. This is a portable AC unit. Normally, I don't like portable ACs because they're very inefficient due to the single exhaust, which causes low pressure in the room. Then you're pulling unconditioned air from outside and the inside, so it's kind of a wash. They do work, I guess, to some extent, but anyways, what's different about this one is number one, it's a dual hose system. Well, actually, it's one big hose, but it has an exhaust and an intake separately, which means you're not pulling conditioned air out to exhaust air out, so that's good. And number two, it has an inverter technology. So basically, it can vary the speed of the compressor and the fan motors, I assume. And that's what makes this really good for solar because, you know, if you don't need to run this at full power all the time, you know, why do it? So in this video, I'm gonna unbox this, get this thing set up, then we're gonna put the kilowatt meter on it and see exactly what it draws. That way we can kind of get an idea what the system requirements would be to run something like this. And yeah, I also have a window AC I've been using for a while that's also an inverter, so I should probably do a video on that. But this one's gonna be a little bit easier to set up because the window unit is kind of a pain because you gotta lift it and put this weird bracket on it and it kind of hangs out of the window. And I don't really like doing it, so hopefully this is a better solution. And that's it. We're just gonna give this thing a shot and see what the wattage draw is and how good the performance is. Also, this is a heat pump, so that's kind of cool. So you can actually heat your house with this as well. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get this unboxed. We're gonna set it up and we're gonna see how much it draws. All right, guys, we got the AC running. I have it at full blast, so this is as high as it'll go. I think I'm just gonna add some foam around this to create a better seal. And this is what I like about this more. When I do wanna use this system, which is not gonna be all the time, it's easy to just pull that out and shut the window. I don't gotta deal with hanging an AC unit and trying to reseal it and all this other stuff. So once this is all set up, it should be very easy to implement as far as running it, you know, when I wanna run it when the sun's out. We have enough solar coming in to run it. So anyways, I'm gonna take you guys to the kilowatt meter and show you all how much power we're using. Okay, so you see about 1300 watts, so that's pretty high. Not terrible, I guess, but you know, if you're gonna run this on a solar system, that's about how much power you're gonna need. Now, what I wanna see is how low we can get that number and still get pretty sufficient cooling out of the unit. So this is on full blast, probably as much as it'll pull. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the unit now to see how low we can get the number. All right, so here's the unit on the lowest setting I can get it. So we're still pulling about 500 watts, so a little less than half, so that's not terrible. Now 500 watts is about what a normal window unit pulls, just a normal compressor style without the inverter setup. So I guess this is gonna be the baseline for now, and that's it. So if you're wanting to run something like this, the minimum you can get it down to is 500 watts, which is very easy to do in most inverters, most solar panel setups. So I guess that's gonna be it. All right, guys, so here it is, the Toshiba inverter portable AC running off the solar bank setup. So far so good. Like I said, on low, pulls about 500 watts, which is fine because a normal window AC unit, this is just a very basic, cheap $120 AC unit from, you know, Lowe's or whatever. This thing has no variable anything, and this pulls about 480 to 500 watts when it's fully warmed up. The good thing about this unit is it's supposed to be a little bit more efficient and it's got better features. And like I said, this is completely on low. So low is about 500 watts, medium is about 800 to 900, then full out, you know, it's closer to 1300. So that's it. I think I'm just gonna run it on low setting as much as possible just because I don't have a lot of solar just yet. I want to get more panels, but just for right now, not to stress the system too hard, we're just going to run it on low for the most part, so that's just fine. I also did get some 2-gauge, this is like Windy Nation wire off of Amazon. This is really good copper wire, so we are going to be upgrading the leads on the inverter and some of the other leads on this because most of this wire is 4-gauge, so we are going to set our wire up to 2-gauge. That is the worst part about running 12 volts. Because this is a 12-volt system, it takes a lot of amperage when you want to go up in wattage. That's why, you know, I want to run as minimum wattage on this as possible. That way, you know, if you try to pull 1,000, 1,500 watts, this inverter is capable of 3,000, but you're looking around, you know, 300 amps on the DC side. So eventually we're going to do a 48 volt setup, but this is what I have. We're going to use this to its max capability for what we have. And that's it. We're just going to keep learning. We're going to keep improving and kind of go from there. I think my next setup is I want to do a server rack setup, you know, server rack battery with one of those all-in-ones, but that's going to be way later down the road. I also did order a mini split AC off of Amazon, so in a future video we're going to install that probably up here somewhere, and kind of the same thing. We're going to try to run the mini split off of this, kind of similar to what we're doing here, except I don't have to keep opening and closing the window when I run the unit. And that was the whole point in doing the portable AC, was because it was easier to install than a window unit. And yeah, but like I said, I'm kind of rambling now. This AC unit's great, and hopefully it kind of holds up. The air is obviously really cold. It's whisper quiet. I also put the condensate hose in with a little tank there. But yeah, it's super easy to install. I literally just open the window, put the thing in. I still got to wrap it in foam and kind of do a better job sealing it. But for just right now, it works perfect. So, oh, there it goes. It's kind of ramping up a little bit. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys got something out of it, and I will catch y'all on the next one.